Hello, all you beautiful people out there. What is going on? This is your friend Britic coming at you fast with another Paragon Beast Builds video. I am so goddamn excited right now. If you guys couldn't tell right now, this is version 28. Oh my god! It came out of fucking nowhere, bro. I was like a goddamn shark. It was like Jaws, except not with those shitty, stupid dummies instead of actual dead bodies. What the fuck? Just kidding. But, yeah, man. Holy fuck balls. This is like a whole new game. There has been some crazy updates, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about the one and only Gadget, which we can now look at the new interface and tell that her ability power is 8, her max movement speed is 450, and her max sprint speed is 880, which is pretty default. Actually, she is a bit slower than Kalari and slower than Sevarog because melee-based heroes have a faster movement speed than range-based heroes. There's your tip of the day. But anyway, let's talk about this now. Let's talk about her deck. The deck that I like, no offense, alright? I'm not assuming gender and or sexuality with this statement. It's just a punny name. Please don't dislike this video because you are a feminazi in the year 2016 and you just don't like penises. Let's get into this video. So, we got that Archmagus. You dramatically increases damage done by the hero. Alright, so you guys know what this does. This gives you bonus energy damage when you turn in that Prime Orbidorb. Alright, then we go into the consumables. You have your standard, typical stuff that you want up in this piece. Always want this stuff up in the piece. You already know where it's at. And we're going to go into the equipment right now. So Gadget's pretty basic, pretty easy to play hero. She's a caster. She specializes in clearing waves and lanes of enemies quickly. And she's also really good for crowd control and also burst damage. She does a lot of burst damage for a caster. All of her abilities do damage, which is really interesting, really important to note. And they do decent amount of damage as well. So we'll talk about what cards to use in this video to complement those abilities really well. And also, you guys can check out my guide video, which in the near future will come out very shortly. If you're watching this video in the future, then one's probably come out. Probably an updated one, because this game changes so goddamn often. Alright, let's get into the fucking cards now. Let's do this. Okay, so a build will be in the description below if you guys just want to fast forward to that and just scroll down and just see what the cards are, but I'm going to explain them here. So, the first thing we start with here is the Amp Crystal. This is obviously after you grab your health pot, mana pot, and harvester key / Scout's Ward. Another thing that you can do if you so choose to is you could use a cast token off the start, okay, instead of a harvester key or a Scout's Ward, but make sure you have your health pot and your mana pot, which now only give you 2 charges and have reduced capabilities, so they give you less healing and less regen, which is also interesting part of the update in my opinion. So the first equipment card you're going to get is Amp Crystal. Okay, this is going to give you a good amount of mana in the beginning, and it's going to give you a full upgrade bonus of 150 mana. And so people have asked me to go in depth with these cards, alright? They asked me to actually fill them out just to show visually how to slot them, so that's exactly what we're going to do right here. So with the Amp Crystal, you're simply going to go with 3 casts, okay? Hold on one second. Let me just do this real quick. Let me just do this right over, okay? Start right over from this, because it's like, oh my god, you're too full, go suck a dick, Britick. Okay, there we go, got it. Alright, so we're going to start with 3 casts, alright? Right there, 3 casts up in that piece. That is what you're going to do with Amp Crystal. Let's just link it. Why not? For the purpose of this video, we will link the card with what you need. So 3 casts, alright? That's going to be your first card right there, filled up and such. Alright? Your second card that you want after this is typically going to be your ward. If you're an upper echelon game, right? You're going to replace maybe even not replace. You might have started with the cast token. If you start with the Scout's Ward, you don't need it anymore because you're going to have a Lord's Ward. But it's nice to have wards on the map, and wards win games. And I promise you guys, I will get to making that video. This is the last hero for now, as of right now, that needs a Beast Builds video for them. So we're almost done, guys. This is fantastic. So Lord's Ward, you don't really need to slot this up too much, at least at the moment. Just make sure you have it. Okay. The next card you want is Staff of Adamant. This is for damage. Okay, you want to go as much into damage as you can as quick as possible. So you want to go with Staff of Adamant. And you're actually going to end up doing something interesting with this one. Okay, you're going to slot 1 cast and 2 major casts into this one. Okay, so you're going to use big cards right off the bat. We'll talk about that later. We won't worry about that too much. So there we go. We're going to link and add these cards. So you have the Staff of Adamant in third, with 1 cast and 2 major casts. Right there. Boom. Done. Your next card is going to be Shockwave, which is a 7-point card. That is why we used a cast and 2 majors to make it in a nice number that will fit the prime system. So basically, it's a factor of 3. Or 3 is a factor of 15, which is the total number of points once you have the 7 from Shockwave, and then the 8 from the upgrades in this card. So in total, I guess you could do 18. But we're not here to do math, guys. We're here to build decks. That's right. So we're going to get our Shockwave next. So after the Shockwave, you don't have to slot anything in there. After the Shockwave, you want to build health, okay? It's very, very important to build health. Now, this is where you can kind of bend the rules a little bit. So if you've done it just like this, up to this point, everything word for word the way I've done it, you can slot Pendulum of the Lord with 3 greater health. So we're not going to worry too much about cooldown right now, okay? Not too much, all right? I've got people messaging me about the new layout. I know, it's pretty crazy. We're not going to worry too much about it. We're just going to say health, okay? Because you don't want to, you do fall off damage-wise as a caster later on in the game when Rangers become more online. So you want to have health when that does happen. So link and add up in this piece. And remember, you are getting mana from a lot of stuff here. You're getting mana from your ward. You're getting mana from your amp crystal plus the upgrade bonus. You're getting mana from the Pendulum of the Lord's passive. Okay, you're getting mana all over the place. You're getting mana regen from Shockwave. So if I see a freaking comment that I'm not building her with mana, I'm going to explode. Okay, probably not really, but I'm just going to laugh a little bit to myself and be like, haha, they should have watched the video. All right, so there we go. Now, I said that there is some variability, meaning you could have, instead of doing what I did here with Staff of the Adamant, you could have instead gone with one more major cast. So you have 3 total major casts, and then instead of 3 greater healths here, you substitute one of the greater healths for a health, a regular health right here, like that. Okay, so either or, depending on how you want to build her. Of course, these guides, these builds are never set in stone, guys. You guys know this, so just take it with a grain of salt. Alright, so at this moment in time, we've probably gotten rid of our 3 starting items at this point. We have Amp Crystal, we have Staff of Adamant, we have our Lord's Ward, we have Shockwave, and now we have Pendulum of Lords. This gives us one more spot. Okay, this gives us one more spot, which is going to be another Staff of the Adamant, another one. Alright, this one is going to be pretty big. So you want to slot that with 3 major casts. And if it doesn't fit, if you've been slotting some stuff and you notice that, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have enough cards, Britick lied to me, I'm going to be really honest with you guys right now. I didn't count the cards for this deck, okay? The reason for that is because I just throw in a mishmash of major casts and casts when I build my deck. I don't necessarily link my cards. I really hate linking my cards like I'm doing right here. I'm just doing it to illustrate. But generally speaking, I have like 7 casts in there, 10 major casts in there, as much as I can without it being obtrusive. So for now, we're going to say you have 3 major casts in there because you want as much damage as you can. If the card section does not allow you to do so, if you just don't have enough CP, then do 3 regular casts, okay? Again, you guys can modify this. You guys just need to understand the general concept of how to build the hero. So there you go. There you go right there with the major cast. So there's your 6 cards right there. If you still have CP to spend, you can put it in the Lord's Ward. Alright, it won't give you a full upgrade bonus, but you'll still be able to slot it. This is that moment in time where you can slot it with more health, more mana, or more chrono. Alright, let's just go ahead and slot it with some chrono, maybe. Okay, maybe some chrono, maybe some advanced chrono. I don't know. Let's just leave it at that. Boom, and there we go. And there are your 6 cards right there for you beautiful, beautiful people. So you want to build Gadget with some health, some damage, some mana that you'll get all over the place, and a little bit of cooldown, you know, is nice. Okay, you don't need to build her tanky at all. You're not going to build her for crit. You're going to build her for damage. You don't need to build her for attack speed. because her abilities deal so much burst damage that if you just deal a lot of damage when her abilities all go off at the same time, it will kill a lot of people. And the reason you want Shockwave, I don't think I've explained this, but the reason you want Shockwave on Gadget is to pair it with her ultimate, which, if you guys don't know, is a big-ass dome. It's a big-ass area of effect that does a lot of damage over time. So the longer the enemy stays in there, the more damage they're going to take. So what you can do is you can run up to them, you can pop your ultimate, and when you use your ultimate, use Shockwave, so they're popped up in the air. This will leave them there for like another second and a half, 2 seconds to get a couple more ticks of damage before they have a chance to escape, whether it's a dash with a Grux out of there or a Twin Blast dash out of there. But it just renders them completely useless and stuck in your trap. Also an easy target for your Sticky Mine to hit them when they hit the ground. So definitely a good card to have. Definitely probably one of the best cards in the game. So that's why you always see me use this card in a lot of my Intellect Hero decks. So you guys have it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, make sure you all have a wonderful day.